Namaskar, welcome to Module 3 of Building Back Business from Crisis. Have you prepared a plan and cleaned up the workplace? Then it's time to get your business rolling again, particularly for those business areas where you were already doing well in the past. If we are restarting, it means that we are going mission mode to problem solve through interrelated shortfalls in the workforce, operations, supply and sales. Let us start with the workforce. We have to rebuild productive teams for key business process and operations. There are some challenges which we can foresee. The workforce is concerned about their health and future employment. How do we observe social distances? The job rotation is no longer possible, so people will have to work on the same place. There could be gaps in experience and skills resulting from part changeover of the workforce. What can you do? Certainly you should communicate your business plan expectations to all. Assign an experienced staff to lead on core positions and core functions, and a team of new workers with experienced workers in a kind of a buddy system. And update and practice standard operating procedures, and provide also quick feedback through frequent team meetings, and seek and reward also suggestions. Keep in mind that the motivated and productive teams are based on trust and mutual respect, and enabled by effective two-way communication. Of course, there is this caution here, because we have to communicate and collaborate at a safe distance. So no sitting or standing close together, but work at 5-6 feet distance from each other. When we go to production, we have to adapt and optimize the production processes for the new reality and requirements. We suggest to work on the issue of practice 5S, so optimize workflows and workstations for new distancing requirement and possible changes. So 5S is the Japanese approach of sorting out, systematic arrangement, shining, standardization and self-discipline. Particularly look at the systematic arrangement and standardization again. Of course, this is also an opportunity to look at resource efficiency. Can we eliminate the inefficient use of materials, energy and water? So by switching off things that are not in use, lights, motors, fans, conveyor belts, etc. Can we look at zeroing out all leaks of water, steam, compressed air? Can we recover some of the scrap materials for reuse? And if something is to be substituted, lights or so, do substitute with something which is efficient. Then we have to work also with suppliers to debottleneck your supply chain. So challenges that might arise is that suppliers are not operating because they have closed down, or they are still in lockdown, or they have a shortage of personnel, materials or finance, or otherwise the current suppliers may impose price hikes or change their delivery and payment terms, or suppliers are unable to reach, particularly in international, interstate, or they have insufficient worker capital to pay for supplies. What you can do is to reach out to support suppliers to get them back into business. Know where your suppliers are and how you can help them to come back into business. Identify and work with alternative suppliers for what you need. Look locally, so there's not a logistics issue, or look at existing suppliers which have similar capabilities to help you with a new part that you might need. Also look at your neighbors, so maybe your neighbors need something similar and you can aggregate your demands and get a better price or better opportunity. You might also initiate discussions on prices and payment conditions with your suppliers. Remember that you should strategize down, I would say, the ender ladder of essential, needed, desired and avoidable. So try to work on what is really essential and reduce that, and then to work on what's needed, and prioritize what you're working on with your suppliers. Likewise, one also has to work with the customers to help the generation of demand. So challenges are that customers might not yet be operating because they're also in a close down or lockdown. The current customers are demanding price discounts or change delivery and payment terms. Our products might be unable to reach customers, particularly international and interstate, and customers might also be unable to pay on time. So also here, they start with reaching out to see where your customers are and how you can help them to get back into business. Also look for new customers and markets with your current or maybe slightly modified products. Explore whether you can aggregate your deliveries with those of other companies in your area so that you can overcome some of the logistic challenges and initiate also discussions on prices and delivery and payment conditions. Here you can also strategize your sales effort and look at your product offer, and can you move your product offer up the end ladder from the customer's perspective. If you're in a needed category, can you get to an essential category for your customers? Overall, as I stated at the outset, it is a matter of problem solving, and problem solving is basically a team effort. So we have to understand the impact and analyze the root causes, and generate and judge alternatives, select and execute most appropriate solution, and then review impact of the solution and need for further action. This all has to be done now in fast track mode, so not a problem solving cycle of weeks or months, but of hours perhaps. And that will mean that you accept that you might not get it completely right in the first instance, and that's fine. You can also learn from that. So as a wrap up, I would say that Restart is basically about problem solving in mission